Genesis chapter 1 is more than just a story. It's a blueprint. It lays out the foundation of the universe and our place within it. As the first chapter of the Bible, it introduces the grand narrative of God's interaction with humanity. This chapter is the cornerstone of Judeo-Christian cosmology. It's the starting point for understanding how the world came to be. Genesis 1 tells us about God's power and majesty. It reveals his creative process, bringing order to chaos. It's a story told for millennia, shaping religious beliefs and cultural values across the globe. This chapter emphasizes the unique relationship between God and humanity. It highlights our role as caretakers of creation. This essay aims to delve deep into Genesis chapter 1. We will journey verse by verse, unearthing the theological significance and spiritual insights embedded within. Genesis chapter 1 is a testament to faith. It asserts that the universe didn't just appear randomly. A purposeful creator meticulously brought it into existence. This belief forms the bedrock of Judeo-Christian faith. It underpins the understanding of God's character and his relationship with the world. The chapter unfolds over 6 days of creation. Each day reveals a new facet of God's creative power and intentionality. This progressive creation culminates in humanity, created in God's image. This act sets us apart from all other creatures. It endows us with inherent dignity and purpose. The creation narrative isn't just a historical account, it's a theological statement. It asserts God's sovereignty over all creation. It establishes the goodness and order inherent in the created world. It provides a framework for understanding our place within this grand design. Throughout this essay, we will uncover the layers of meaning woven into the creation account. We will explore its profound implications for understanding the natural world, human identity, and our ethical responsibilities. By engaging deeply with Genesis 1, we gain a deeper appreciation for the beauty and wonder of creation. We also come to a richer understanding of our role as stewards of this magnificent gift. In the beginning, these 3 words, simple yet profound, launch the entire narrative of Scripture. They transport us to a time before time, a realm where only God existed. The very act of speaking of a beginning presupposes a beginner, an entity outside and prior to the existence of anything else. The phrase, "in the beginning, God," immediately establishes the primacy of God. He is not an afterthought, a being who emerged from a pre-existing cosmos. Instead, he precedes everything, the ultimate source and sustainer of all that is. This foundational truth underpins the entire biblical narrative. The verse doesn't delve into the complexities of God's nature. It doesn't offer philosophical arguments for his existence. It simply declares with breathtaking clarity that God is. This bold assertion forms the cornerstone of faith, the starting point for understanding the universe and our place within it. This opening statement is a bold declaration against the prevailing worldviews of the time. Ancient cultures were steeped in polytheism, attributing the creation to a pantheon of deities. Genesis, however, cuts through the noise and proclaims the singularity of God. There is only one God, the uncreated creator, responsible for all that exists. The verse continues, God created the heavens and the earth. The Hebrew word for created is bara, a verb used exclusively for divine activity throughout the Old Testament. It signifies an act of bringing something entirely new into existence, something that did not exist before. This act of bara is not merely shaping or molding pre-existing matter, it is a radical act of creation ex nihilo, out of nothing. The text doesn't describe a laborious process. There's no struggle, no need for raw materials. God simply speaks, and it is. This highlights the effortless ease with which God brings forth the cosmos. His word is imbued with creative potency. It is through his word that the universe bursts into being. The vastness of creation, the heavens and the earth, testifies to the immensity of God's power. From the smallest subatomic particle to the largest galaxy, all owe their existence to his creative word. This universe, with its intricate laws and breathtaking beauty, stands as a testament to the Creator's boundless imagination and power. This understanding of creation has profound implications for how we view the world around us. It instills a sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of the natural world. It also fosters a deep respect for the environment as God's handiwork, entrusted to our care. The concept of creatio ex nihilo, a cornerstone of Christian theology, sets the biblical narrative apart from other creation myths. It challenges the ancient worldview that regarded the universe as eternal or as emerging from some pre-existing chaos. Genesis asserts that God alone is eternal and uncreated. Everything else owes its existence to his deliberate act of creation. This understanding of creation has significant philosophical and theological implications. It establishes a clear distinction between the creator and the created. This distinction emphasizes God's transcendence, his existence outside and beyond the created order. Moreover, the concept of creatio ex nihilo underscores the utter dependence of the universe upon God. If God created everything from nothing, then he continues to uphold and sustain all things. This dependence is not just a matter of the past, a one-time event. It is an ongoing reality, a moment-by-moment reliance on the Creator's sustaining power. This understanding fosters a sense of humility. We are not self-sufficient beings, but creatures utterly dependent on God for our very existence. This realization should lead us to a posture of gratitude and worship. It should also inspire us to live in a way that honors the Creator and stewards his creation. Verses 2 to 5 transport us to the very dawn of creation. The scene is far from the pristine paradise often imagined. Instead, we encounter a world shrouded in darkness and formlessness. The text describes it as tohu wabohu in Hebrew, a phrase vividly depicting a state of utter chaos and emptiness. This primordial state, far from being a deterrent, serves as the raw canvas upon which God's creative power will be displayed. The earth is depicted as formless and empty, a vast expanse of nothingness awaiting God's transforming touch. Darkness covers the surface of the deep, a powerful image of the unknown and the yet-to-be. It's a stark reminder that order and beauty are not inherent in the universe. They are the result of God's deliberate and purposeful act of creation. But even in this chaotic void, there is a glimmer of hope, a sign of God's presence. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters, the text tells us. This evokes an image of a bird brooding over its nest, protectively nurturing what is to come. God is not distant or detached from this primordial chaos. He is intimately involved, his Spirit the life-giving force that will soon bring order and beauty to the void. The scene is set for a dramatic transformation. The stage is prepared for the divine artist to begin his masterpiece, to mold this formless void into a magnificent cosmos. The first creative act of God is the creation of light. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, the text declares. This simple yet profound statement reveals the nature of God's creative power. He doesn't need tools or materials. His word alone is enough to bring forth something from nothing. The Hebrew word for light here is or, referring to light in its most general sense. It's not yet the light of the sun, which will be created later. This primordial light represents the very essence of God's presence, the first step in banishing the darkness and bringing order to the chaos. God saw that the light was good, the text continues. This simple phrase introduces a moral dimension to creation. Good here signifies more than just aesthetic pleasure. It implies that creation is in accordance with God's will, reflecting his character and purpose. Light, therefore, represents not only physical illumination, but also spiritual and moral goodness. The creation of light is a pivotal moment in the Genesis narrative. It marks the beginning of God's ordering of the universe. The separation of light and darkness is not just a physical phenomenon. It symbolizes the distinction between good and evil, order and chaos, life and death, themes that will resonate throughout the biblical narrative. Section 3, Day and Night, Order from the Void. Having created light, God proceeds to separate it from darkness. God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light a day, and the darkness he called night. The text states, "This separation marks the establishment of the first cycle in creation, the rhythm of day and night." This act of separation is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, it brings order to the previously undifferentiated chaos. The boundaries between light and darkness define time and space, shaping the world into a more structured and comprehensible form. Secondly, this separation establishes a pattern of alternating opposites, light and darkness, day and night. This pattern hints at the inherent rhythm and balance within God's creation. By naming light day and darkness night, God demonstrates his sovereignty over creation. He not only brings these elements into being, but also gives them identity and purpose. This act of naming reflects the care and intentionality with which God forms and orders his creation. Finally, the verse concludes, "And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day." This marks the completion of the first day of creation. It establishes a pattern that will be repeated throughout the 6 days of creation, highlighting the rhythmic and purposeful nature of God's creative work. Each day begins with a state of potentiality and progresses towards completion, reflecting God's orderly and intentional approach to creation. Section 1. Dividing the waters. A firmament is formed. The second day of creation dawns and God's focus shifts to the watery expanse. The command rings out, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." This act of separation is crucial in the unfolding drama of creation, as it establishes a distinction between the waters above and the waters below. This division, in turn, allows for the emergence of habitable space. God's creative power is again manifested through his word. He speaks, and a vault or firmament comes into being. This firmament, called rakia in Hebrew, is not a solid dome as some ancient cultures imagined. Instead, it represents the expanse of the sky, a vast atmospheric ocean separating the earth from the heavens. This separation is not just physical, it carries profound symbolic significance. The waters above the firmament likely refer to the celestial waters, often associated with the heavenly waters. These waters, held back by the firmament, represent the potential for chaos and destruction, a reminder of the delicate balance of God's creation. The firmament therefore serves as a protective barrier, safeguarding the earth from the overwhelming power of these celestial waters. This separation of waters also creates a space for life to flow. By dividing the waters above from the waters below, God establishes the conditions necessary for the emergence of dry land and the eventual appearance of water. This act underscores the intentionality and purposefulness behind God's creative work. He is not merely fashioning a random collection of objects, but carefully crafting a world suited for life. Section 2. The sky, a canvas of wonder. The text continues, "God called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day." This simple act of naming is significant. Just as he named the light day and the darkness night, God now bestows a name upon this newly created expanse. This act of naming signifies God's sovereignty over creation. He is not only the creator, but also the one who defines, orders, and gives identity to all that exists. The sky, no longer a formless void, becomes a canvas upon which God's glory will be displayed. It is a realm of wonder and mystery, a testament to the Creator's power and majesty. The sun, moon, and stars, which will be created on the fourth day, will adorn this celestial canvas, further revealing the beauty and order of God's creation. The separation of waters and the creation of the sky also have implications for humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. We are positioned between the heavens and the earth, inhabitants of a world carefully crafted and ordered by a loving Creator. The sky above us, a constant reminder of God's presence and power, invites us to contemplate the vastness of creation and our place within it. The second day of creation, therefore, lays the groundwork for the unfolding drama of life on earth. It establishes the boundaries and rhythms that will govern the natural world. creating a space where life can flourish and diversity can abound. The sky, a testament to God's creative power and a source of endless wonder, becomes a symbol of hope and promise, pointing towards the ultimate fulfillment of God's purposes for His creation. The third day of creation dawns, and the focus shifts to the watery expanse that has dominated the earth thus far. The command rings out, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." This is a pivotal moment in the creation narrative, as it marks the emergence of the earth as we know it, a place where life can take root and flourish. The text doesn't describe a violent upheaval, but rather a gathering, a drawing together of the waters. This suggests a sense of order and purpose, as if the waters are willingly obeying the divine command. This gathering of the waters into specific areas allows for the appearance of dry ground, a testament to God's power to control and shape the forces of nature. God names the dry ground land and the gathered waters seas. This act of naming, repeated throughout the creation account, signifies God's sovereignty over all that He has made. He is not only the creator, but also the one who defines, orders, and gives identity to His creation. The emergence of land and sea marks a significant step in the transformation of the primordial chaos into a world teeming with life. This separation of land and sea also highlights the importance of boundaries in God's created order. Just as He separated light from darkness and the waters above from the waters below, God now establishes a clear distinction between the realm of the land and the realm of the sea. These boundaries, while seemingly simple, are essential for the flourishing of life. The gathering of the waters into seas is not merely a geographical detail. It carries profound symbolic weight, representing the taming of chaos and the establishment of order. In many ancient Near Eastern cultures, the sea was viewed as a symbol of chaos and danger, a primordial force that threatened to engulf and destroy. By gathering the waters into specific areas and setting boundaries for them, God demonstrates His mastery over even the most powerful and unpredictable forces of nature. The seas, once a symbol of chaos, now become a testament to God's power and control. They are no longer a threat to the newly formed land, but a source of life and abundance, teeming with creatures yet to be created. This act of gathering also speaks to God's intentionality in creating a world suitable for life. The separation of land and sea creates a dynamic balance essential for a thriving ecosystem. The seas provide moisture and regulate the climate, while the land offers a stable platform for vegetation and animal life. The establishment of these boundaries is not meant to be static or restrictive. Rather, it creates a dynamic interplay between different elements of creation, a constant exchange of energy and resources that sustains life in all its diversity. The boundaries between land and sea therefore become zones of interaction and transition, places where life finds new and creative ways to flourish. With the land and seas in place, God's creative energy turns to the task of bringing forth life. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds," the text declares. This is a pivotal moment in the creation narrative, marking the emergence of life on the newly formed earth. The text emphasizes the order and intentionality of this process. God doesn't simply create a random assortment of plants, He speaks, and the land brings forth vegetation according to their various kinds, indicating a preordained plan, a blueprint for the diversity and complexity of the plant kingdom. Each plant is created with its own unique characteristics and purpose, contributing to the richness and beauty of the created order. The creation of vegetation is not merely an aesthetic afterthought. Plants play a vital role in the delicate balance of the ecosystem. They provide food and shelter for animals, release oxygen into the atmosphere, and prevent soil erosion. Their creation, therefore, is an act of profound foresight and provision, ensuring the sustainability and flourishing of life on Earth. The text also highlights the remarkable ability of plants to reproduce according to their kinds. This inherent capacity for self-propagation speaks to the inherent goodness and order built into God's creation. It's a testament to God's wisdom in designing a world that can sustain itself, a world where life begets life in a continuous cycle of renewal and abundance. Celestial choreography, the lights in the firmament. The fourth day of creation dawns, and God's attention turns towards the heavens. The text states, "And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years." This marks a pivotal moment in the creation narrative as it introduces the celestial bodies that will govern time and illuminate the earth. God's command highlights the purposefulness of creation. The sun, moon and stars are not merely decorative elements scattered across the sky, they are created with specific functions in mind. Their primary purpose is to separate the day from the night, establishing a clear rhythm to time, a pattern that will govern life on earth. The text emphasizes that these celestial bodies are lights in the vault of the sky, further solidifying the understanding of the firmament established on the second day. These lights are placed within the expanse of the heavens, not above or beyond it, emphasizing the structured and ordered nature of God's creation. The creation of the celestial lights also introduces the concept of timekeeping. These celestial bodies, with their predictable movements, will serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. This signifies God's intentionality in establishing a framework for measuring and marking the passage of time, a framework that will shape human understanding of history, seasons and celebrations. Markers of time and tide, the sun and moon's divine mandate. The text continues, "And God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars." This verse introduces a hierarchical structure within the celestial realm. The sun and the moon, described as two great lights, are given dominion over day and night, respectively. The sun, the greater light, becomes the dominant celestial body governing the day. Its radiance illuminates the earth, providing warmth and energy essential for life. The moon, the lesser light, assumes its role as the gentle ruler of the night, reflecting the sun's light and casting a softer glow upon the sleeping world. God's creation of the stars is described with striking brevity. The text simply states, "He also made the stars," as if to emphasize that even these countless, seemingly insignificant points of light are part of God's grand design. They too play a role in the celestial tapestry, contributing to the beauty and majesty of the night sky. The sun and the moon, however, are singled out for their specific roles in governing time and light. This emphasizes their importance in the created order, their influence on the rhythms of life on earth. Their movements become the celestial clock by which days, months and years are measured, a testament to the order and predictability embedded within God's creation. The appointed order seasons, days and years. The celestial bodies are not merely passive timekeepers, they actively shape the world they illuminate. The text states, "God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness." This highlights the dynamic interplay between the celestial realm and the earthly realm, the profound influence of the heavens upon the earth. The sun's movement across the sky dictates the length of days and the cycle of seasons. Its warmth awakens the earth in spring, nourishes its growth in summer, and gradually recedes as autumn approaches, ushering in the dormancy of winter. This cyclical pattern, governed by the celestial dance of the sun, becomes the heartbeat of life on earth. The moon, too, exerts its influence, its gravitational pull governing the tides, shaping coastlines and influencing the behavior of marine life. Its phases, waxing and waning in predictable cycles, become a celestial calendar, marking the passage of months and influencing agricultural practices. The stars, though seemingly distant and static, also play a role in this celestial choreography. Their constellations, unchanging patterns in the night sky, serve as navigational guides for travelers, connecting distant lands and facilitating exploration. Their presence adds depth and mystery to the night, inspiring wonder and contemplation about the vastness of creation. The fourth day of creation culminates with the reassuring refrain, "And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day." This declaration of goodness encompasses not only the celestial bodies themselves, but also the order and purpose they bring to the world. The sun, moon and stars, each fulfilling its divinely appointed role, create a symphony of light and time, a celestial ballet that orchestrates the rhythms of life on earth. Their creation is not merely an act of power, but a testament to God's wisdom and artistry, His ability to weave together beauty, functionality and purpose into a harmonious whole. The establishment of day and night, the cycle of seasons, the ebb and flow of tides, all point towards a creator who is not only powerful but also intentional and loving. The fourth day of creation therefore reveals a world carefully crafted to support life, a world where even the heavens declare the glory of God. The fifth day of creation dawns, and God's creative energy turns towards the waters He shaped earlier. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky," the text proclaims. This marks a significant escalation in the creation narrative, a move from the inanimate to the animate, from the stillness of the waters to the vibrancy of life in motion. God's command is not merely to populate the waters, but to make them teem with life, conveying a sense of abundance, diversity and boundless energy. This teeming life encompasses a vast spectrum of creatures, from microscopic organisms to massive sea creatures, each playing a role in the intricate web of life in the oceans. The text highlights the sheer variety of marine life, emphasizing that God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds. This phrase emphasizes the intentionality behind God's creative work. He doesn't create a homogeneous mass of creatures, but rather a stunning array of life forms, each distinct and perfectly suited to its niche within the marine ecosystem. The creation of marine life is a testament to God's boundless imagination and His delight in diversity. From the streamlined grace of dolphins to the intricate patterns of seashells, the underwater world reveals a breathtaking tapestry of colors, shapes and forms, a constant source of wonder and inspiration. The creation narrative continues with the appearance of birds, creatures uniquely equipped to navigate the vast expanse of the sky. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky," the text reiterates, linking the creation of birds with the teeming life in the waters below. This juxtaposition highlights the interconnectedness of God's creation, the delicate balance between different ecosystems. The birds soaring high above the earth are not separate from the waters below. They rely on the oceans for food, their flight paths often dictated by the presence of fish and other marine life. The text emphasizes the birds' ability to fly above the earth across the vault of the sky, highlighting their freedom of movement and their unique perspective on the world. Their wings, a marvel of biological engineering, allow them to transcend the earthly realm, to soar through the heavens and experience the world from a different vantage point. The creation of birds adds another layer of beauty and wonder to the world. Their songs fill the air, their plumage displays a stunning array of colors and patterns, and their aerial acrobatics inspire awe and delight. Their presence in the sky is a constant reminder of God's artistry and His delight in creating a world filled with beauty and diversity. The sixth day of creation dawns, and God's creative energy focuses on the land, now ready to support a vibrant ecosystem. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." the text proclaims. This command marks the final stage in the preparation of the earth, the introduction of land animals to complete the intricate tapestry of life. The text emphasizes the incredible diversity of land animals, classifying them into broad categories: livestock, domesticated animals that would later serve humanity, creatures that move along the ground, encompassing a wide array of reptiles, insects and small animals, and wild animals, representing the untamed beauty and power of nature. This categorization, while not exhaustive, highlights God's intentionality in creating a world teeming with a staggering array of life forms. The repetition of the phrase, according to their kinds, underscores a fundamental principle embedded within the creation account: the concept of fixed species. Each animal is created with a distinct nature, a set of characteristics that define its kind. This concept, while later debated and refined in scientific circles, highlights the order and purposefulness behind God's creative work. He doesn't create a random assortment of creatures, but rather distinct species, each designed to thrive in its specific ecological niche. The creation of land animals transforms the earth into a vibrant tapestry of life. From the majestic power of elephants to the intricate patterns of butterflies, each creature reflects God's creativity and his delight in diversity. The land, once silent and still, now pulsates with the energy of life in motion, a symphony of sounds, colors, and movements that declare the glory of the Creator. With the stage set, the narrative reaches its pinnacle, the creation of humanity. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground," the text declares. This verse marks a radical shift in the creation account, introducing a creature fundamentally different from all that came before: humanity created in the very image of God. The phrase "in our image, in our likeness," imago Dei in Latin, has reverberated throughout theological and philosophical discourse for millennia. It signifies that humanity, unlike any other creature, bears a special resemblance to its Creator. This resemblance is not primarily physical, but rather reflects God's spiritual, intellectual, and moral attributes. Humans are endowed with reason, conscience, creativity, and the capacity for relationships, qualities that reflect the very nature of God. The text also highlights humanity's unique role within creation. God grants humans dominion over the earth, a responsibility to care for and manage the natural world. This dominion, however, is not a license for exploitation, but rather a sacred stewardship. Humans, as image-bearers of God, are called to reflect his character in their interactions with creation, exercising wisdom, justice, and compassion in their management of the earth's resources. The creation of humanity in God's image elevates human life to a place of profound dignity and worth. It also establishes a foundation for understanding human purpose and responsibility. Humans, as God's representatives on earth, are called to cultivate, protect, and appreciate the beauty and diversity of the created order, ensuring its flourishing for generations to come. God's creative work culminates with a blessing and a mandate for humanity. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground," the text states. This divine blessing bestowed upon humanity highlights their unique role within creation and outlines their responsibility to participate in God's ongoing creative work. The command to be fruitful and increase in number reflects God's desire for life to flourish and expand. It's a call to participate in the miracle of creation, to nurture and care for future generations. The instruction to fill the earth and subdue it signifies humanity's role as stewards of creation, tasked with developing its potential and ensuring its sustainability. This mandate, however, is not a license for reckless exploitation. The concept of subduing the earth, often misinterpreted, should be understood within the context of God's character and his care for creation. It implies a responsible and sustainable development of the Earth's resources, a partnership between humanity and nature that honors the Creator and ensures the flourishing of all life. God's blessing extends beyond a mandate, it includes provision. Then God said, "I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food." The text continues. This act of provision highlights God's care for his creation, his desire to provide for their needs. It also establishes a harmonious relationship between humanity and the natural world, a relationship based on interdependence and mutual respect. The creation narrative reaches its climax with God's assessment of his handiwork. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day, the text concludes. This declaration of very good, tov meod in Hebrew, carries profound significance. It's not merely an expression of satisfaction, but a definitive statement about the inherent goodness and completeness of creation. The phrase "very good" implies that creation has reached a state of perfection, fulfilling God's original intention. It reflects the beauty, order, harmony and abundance that characterize the world as God intended it to be. This declaration stands in stark contrast to the chaos and formlessness described at the beginning of creation. It's a testament to God's power to transform, to bring order out of chaos, and to create something beautiful and life-sustaining out of nothing. The sixth day concludes with the familiar refrain, "And there was evening and there was morning." This rhythmic pattern, repeated throughout the creation account, underscores the order and purposefulness of God's creative work. Each day begins with a state of potentiality and progresses towards completion, reflecting God's intentional and methodical approach to creation. The sixth day, culminating in the creation of humanity and the divine declaration of very good, marks the completion of God's creative work. The earth, now teeming with life and poised for the unfolding drama of human history, stands as a testament to God's power, wisdom, and goodness. Genesis chapter 1 is more than just a creation story. It's a profound theological statement, a vibrant tapestry woven with threads of truth that have shaped human understanding of God, the universe, and humanity's place within it for millennia. It's a testament to the power of narrative, its ability to convey deep truths about the nature of reality and our place within it. The chapter's opening words, "In the beginning, God," resonate with a timeless power, instantly establishing the primacy of God as the uncreated creator, the source and sustainer of all that exists. This foundational truth, declared with breathtaking simplicity, challenges all other worldviews that place anything or anyone above the one true God. From the initial state of chaos and formlessness, we witness a God who speaks, and it is so. With each creative act, with each "let there be," the universe unfolds, revealing order, beauty, purpose, and a meticulous attention to detail. The separation of light and darkness, the formation of the firmament, the emergence of land and sea, all point towards a God who is not only powerful but also intentional, a master artist shaping his creation with care and precision. The creation of life, first in the waters, then in the air, and finally on the land, culminates in the appearance of humanity, formed in the very image of God. This act elevates human life to a place of unique dignity and worth, conferring upon us a responsibility to reflect God's character in our interactions with creation. Genesis chapter 1 doesn't merely present a static account of creation. It issues a call to action, a summons to participate in God's ongoing creative work. As image bearers of God, we are entrusted with the sacred responsibility of stewardship, tasked with caring for the earth and its inhabitants, ensuring its flourishing for generations to come. This stewardship requires wisdom, humility, and a deep respect for the intricate web of life that sustains us. It demands that we resist the temptation to exploit the earth for short-term gain, and instead embrace sustainable practices that honor God's design and ensure the well-being of all creatures. Our role as stewards is intricately linked to our identity as worshippers. To truly appreciate the wonder of creation is to be filled with awe and reverence for the Creator. The vastness of the cosmos, the intricate beauty of a flower, the boundless energy of the ocean, all point towards a God who is beyond our comprehension, yet intimately involved in the world He has made. Genesis 1 invites us to approach creation not with a sense of entitlement, but with gratitude and humility, recognizing that we are not the owners, but the caretakers of this extraordinary gift. Our worship then finds expression not merely in words, but in actions that reflect our deep appreciation for the Creator and His creation. In an age often marked by scientific advancement and technological prowess, the message of Genesis chapter 1 remains as relevant as ever. While scientific inquiry provides invaluable insights into the mechanisms of the natural world, Genesis offers a framework for understanding the meaning and purpose behind creation, reminding us that the universe is not a random collection of particles, but a purposeful creation imbued with meaning. Genesis 1 challenges the modern tendency to view nature solely as a resource to be exploited, reminding us that the earth and its inhabitants have intrinsic value, worthy of our respect and protection. It calls us to move beyond a consumeristic mindset and embrace a more sustainable way of life, one that recognizes our interdependence with the natural world. The chapter's message of human dignity, rooted in the imago Dei, stands in stark contrast to ideologies that devalue human life or promote inequality. It affirms the inherent worth of every individual, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or social status, reminding us that we are all created in the image of God, deserving of respect and dignity. Genesis 1, therefore, is not a relic of the past, but a living document, its truths echoing through the ages, offering guidance, wisdom, and hope for a world grappling with complex challenges. It's a reminder that we are part of something much greater than ourselves, a creation that reflects the beauty, order, and purpose of a loving Creator. As we conclude our exploration of Genesis chapter 1, we are left with a profound sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of God's creation. The narrative, though ancient, speaks with a timeless power, reminding us of our place in the grand scheme of things, our interconnectedness with all of creation, and our responsibility to be faithful stewards of the earth. The chapter's message is not merely informative but transformative, calling us to reorient our lives around the truths it reveals. It's a call to humility, recognizing our dependence on God and our place within the intricate web of creation. It's a call to responsibility, urging us to care for the earth and its inhabitants with wisdom and compassion. And it's a call to worship, inviting us to respond to the beauty and wonder of creation with hearts filled with gratitude and awe. Genesis chapter 1, therefore, is not just a story to be read, but a symphony to be experienced, a timeless narrative that continues to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. It's a call to live in harmony with God, with each other, and with all of creation, a call that echoes through the ages, reminding us that we are part of something much greater than ourselves.